Hello everybody and welcome back to our Adapta Hat. This is part 5. Now I've zoomed along and waited for the hat to fit my grandson who's having this one. His head is 53.4, so just a bit smaller than mine and my granddaughter's. And that's where we left off. And I've done 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you've got a 53 centimetre adult, small adult or child, he's 8. 4 more on what we had is the right size. I'd do another block if it was for my granddaughter or myself. So you'd want to do 5 or 6 for an adult or an older child. When you've come to the end of that and you've done your last double crochet round, what you want to do is continue with a single crochet round. All right, you can do 2 if you want to. I've actually finished it with 1 this time because I'm nearly at the end of the ball and I can't see the point of opening another ball just for an extra crochet round. So it's entirely your decision to make if you want to do an extra one. I'm going to cut my yarn and I'm going to thread it through that loop and fasten it off. And I'm going to leave that nice bit of wool on the end to sew in later. All right, so that fits my grandson. So we've got this whole hat that we've done relatively quickly. Now the next thing that we need to do on this hat is we're going to need to do something with these double crochets. So the idea actually is that we do a slip and put on our hook, and we can do what's called a front post single crochet. Now all a front post actually means is that we're going to find those doubles and we're going to go around one of the doubles and catch it like that, catch it round the front, put our yarn through and through again to make a single crochet. All right, we can forget about our dangly bit for a while. And then we do that all the way round. So we go round each and every one of those double crochets we made and do a single crochet in it. So I hope you can see this from the camera angle, but we're just picking up each of those long double crochet stitches that we made like this, and we're taking our wool underneath so that we've got 2 on our hook and pulling it through to make a single crochet, and we're picking them up all the way around till we get back to the beginning again. All right, and that's obviously the top of the hat, and we're coming into those first double crochet block rows that we made, and we're going in through those double crochets to bring the stitch to the front, which is why they're called front post. We're going into the front of the post. We're crocheting on top of the front post. And we've got 1 more to do there. And then we can slip stitch in our very first one we made, which is there. All right. Now that, as you can see, has made a nice stripe on our hat. And we can do another row if we want to. We could do 3 rows, 4 rows. That's why it's an adaptable hat. You can do what you like. I would do 2. I did 2 on the longer hat version. So this is 2 rows for front post single crochets, front post single crochets around the double crochet rows, which is the longer stitches, to form this nice lip and stripe all the way down. You could do different colours, and actually you could thread instead of crochet. So you might have a nice furry wool or a different type of wool or a different coloured wool, and or even the same, and you could go in and out instead. So get a needle maybe and you could just go in one and out the other and thread them through, and then maybe come back the other way. So if you didn't want to crochet all the way around these, you could just do a thread, and then once you've done the thread, come back and thread the other way, so you've got a stripe there. There's also thicker wool you could use, or you could use furry wool. There's a lot of things you could do around this hat other than crocheting these single crochet rows, or doing 2 lots of single crochet rows. I like this though. I do think it looks cute, and when you've got an extra one like here, so it's a bit thicker, you know, you've got quite a good chunk there. And of course, because we've done this one shorter, these are going to be closer together, which I think will look even nicer. So I'm going to crack on, and I'm going to do another row, and then I'm going to do the next one to show you again. So we're just going to go in here with another double crochet. And I'm going to put a stitch marker in there because it is quite difficult to see, especially with the black, like we discussed before. So I'm going to go round and go through these stitches. In fact, if you bend them over, you can see them better. Excuse me, because with each one you go through, you can sort of see the hole underneath the stitch. Excuse me. I don't know if you can see that. My nails there, look. You can sort of see the hole in front of the stitch. So if you bend it over, it's easier to see where you're going, especially with a black or dark coloured wool. Excuse the coughing. Something's just tickled my throat. I cough a lot anyway, so apologies for that. Oh dear, I might have to stop the video. I'll try not to. All right, so we're going all the way around. This little one is one of the harder ones to do because it's not difficult, but obviously it's quite small, so it takes a bit, you know, it takes a bit of a fiddle, whereas as you go further down the hat, you've got more room. So you're going to slip stitch in that last one, and that's going to be our last one. So all you do is cut your yarn, leave a bit of a tail on it to sew in, and then grab it through like we did the others. All right, and if I push that back round to a side that's free, you can see that I think that looks quite nice with 2. And we'll push it upwards, I think, rather than downwards. It looks quite cute. And then we'd have another one here. All right, so quite close. So this is going to come up here. So this is going to have lots of these closer together than the other hat. All right, and then the next one's there, look. But if you're really, you know, you don't want to have a go at these front posts because it's a bit different, and it might take a little bit of practice, do think about threading something through. So you could even use ribbon or anything like that. Maybe a ribbon would be good because it's thicker, but you can decorate it with anything. I'm going to continue on and do this all the way down, and then we need to put the peak on. Now, I was going to do a separate video for the peak, but I decided to show you now because it's quicker, obviously. And I think the best thing for you to do, because, you know, we're using either a 3 or a 3.5. It's entirely up to you for this. So you need to change your hook to a smaller hook. And we want the brim to be quite dense, and that's why it needs to be quite small. I'm going to be using black for this, which is going to be harder to see. So I'm hoping you'll be able to see it okay with the lights. But we're going to put that on our hook. All right. And all we're going to do is round 1 is to start where we left off, basically. So we ended here, so we'll go straight into that same stitch, and we're going to just do a starting single crochet, which is just pulling through and pulling through both stitches to join that yarn on. Give it a little pull to make it tight. All right, and in that stitch we're going to do 2 single crochets. So we're going to do a chain 1, and we're going to do a single crochet and another single crochet. So effectively we've got 3 in that stitch, which is quite a lot, but it will make sense. All right, and then we're going to single crochet all the way around, but in the front loops only. So when it says front loops only, you know our V's, we have our V's. All right, I'm hoping you can see this okay. I'm going to try and get them closer to you. So we've got our V, and we've got a shadow going on with that bit of wool, haven't we? That's what that is. So we've got our V's. So you can see that the 2 V's are there, aren't they? There's one in the front, and then there's the one in the back as well. So if you're going into the back loop, it would be this one. The front loop obviously is the one sitting in the front. So when we're crocheting around from here, we're going to go only into the front. Now what will happen when we do our single crochet in the front is we're going to end up with a big hole, but you mustn't worry about that. That is what it's supposed to look like. Now the reason for this, I'm going to do a few just so that I can show you this. All right, because this is very straightforward, and I'm going to leave you to it once you know. So we're going into the front post only, and we're doing a single crochet, front post only, single crochet all of the way around. Okay, now the reason we're doing this is because we need a hinge. We need for this brim to stick out of the hat, because if we do it straight, it's just going to continue on straight. So what it does when you do in the front post, it creates this hinge, which is why it doesn't matter that these holes are bigger, because you're not going to see it, because this brim is going to stick out this way. So you're going in this direction. All right, and you've got the nice other back post underneath it to keep it nice. All right, so that's why we're doing that. So all the way around on this row, you're going to go front post, front post, front post. Now, there is an adaptable brim on this as well, but for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to say to you, go all the way around like this into the front posts. All right. When you've gone all the way around, you slip stitch back into that first one like we have all the way through. Okay. So you're going to come back up to here, and you're going to, in your front posts only, and you're going to slip stitch into this one here. All right. And then you can start crocheting as normal into both V's like we always have before, because we don't want to hinge here. We only want to hinge here. So then we're going to carry on so that this hinge bends this brim out, and then we're going out from there in a straight line. Okay, so we need to go through both these. So second round and third round and fourth round, both these. And it's just a case of doing every stitch around for 6 rounds. All right, so we're going to go round this 6 times. And then once you've done that and your stripes, in whatever way you're going to do your stripes, whether it's ribbon, whether it's very furry wool, whether it's doing the single crochets like I'm doing front posts, front posts all the way down, it's entirely your decision to make. Okay, and I'm going to leave that up to you of how you're going to decorate it. Once you've finished this, you've got your hat finished. Okay, but I will be doing another video after this one, once this hat is finished, to show you how to dress it up for Halloween or Christmas or any other event. So look out for the Halloween video coming up, or the Christmas video, or the Easter video, or the festival video. They will be coming up. Okay, so yeah, just keep an eye out for those because we're going to decorate them. The purple hat that I've got here you've already seen, and I've got a pumpkin on that for Halloween. And I can just show you, I have also for Halloween done a skull, which I'm going to do the same to put on my grey hat because it's going to be a Halloween hat. But there will be some different videos for the Halloween ones, for the Christmas ones, for the Easter ones, etc. because these hats can be adapted to whatever you need them for. The Christmas ones are great fun. So watch the Christmas video. The hat pattern remains exactly the same. You just change the colours of your hat and you put different decorations on. Okay, I hope that was okay. I will come back to you. This is obviously one that's finished that I've shown you already with the brim on it already. And this brim is curling because we've just continued with no increases. All right, and at a later date I will show you how to make a flatter brim. All right, but this is how it is for now. And actually I quite like this brim. You can actually pull this out when you're wearing it so the front sits a bit flatter, but if you don't put increases it curls like that. Okay. Okay, so I hope that was helpful, guys, and I hope that you enjoy it. I will come back to you to show you this hat when it's finished, when I've done all the stripes and when I've got the brim on it. And in the Halloween video I will show you how I dress it up for Halloween, and I can show you the 2 Halloween hats on the children hopefully at some point. All right, and then later on look out for the Christmas video and the Easter video and the festival hat video, hoping that we can go to festivals again next year. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.